Mr. Bajwa, you're welcome to the Pulse.
Thank you, and good afternoon to your cherished listeners and viewers as
of
well. Elton.
So your reaction to this position taken by the Ministry of Finance?
I don't have any reaction. I'm just angry. Simply angry because this is the first time a whole institution, an institution of economic interest, Ministry of Finance, will write to a president that a bill that was passed in the House, he should not assent to it, even though the bill has not gotten to the president. But today, I checked myself. I went to find out. The bill is still in Parliament. It has not gotten to the president. So what has preempted the ministers?
It hasn't even gone to the government printing house.
No, it's gone to the government printing house. They're waiting for the paper, the stencil paper for which the president will sign. They've not gotten it yet. So our expectation is that when this is a holiday, by Thursday or Friday to come, and then they will send it to the president for him to look at. And so this firefighting by a whole institution of government that the president should not sign, it's neither here nor there. The unfortunate thing, is that we have 3 of our colleagues who are members of Parliament who were also in the House.
They didn't voice their disapproval. During consideration.
They were even part of the IMF and World Bank negotiations. Honorable Dr. John Kuma, Deputy Minister for Finance, a member of Parliament for Ejisu, whose wife is a minister, the Minister of the Gospel.
You are personalizing it.
I'm coming to that.
Okay.
Why I'm personalizing it. Then we have our own colleague who is now a Minister of State in the office at
the Ministry of Finance.
At the Ministry of Finance. Abina Osayasare. The 2 of them were all with the former minister who negotiated the IMF deal. Then we have the current Minister of Finance, Mohammed Amin, who is also a member of Parliament. Why didn't they voice out that, well, we have reservation because during our negotiation with IMF or World Bank, there are issues that will be coming up. If we pass this bill, it will not be. They didn't say anything. And so for them to come out, 3 of them, in addition to the Governor of Bank of Ghana, the GRA, Chief Commissioner General, and the Chief Director, for them, the 3 or 4 people to come out with this, message, it is making me angry because I still believe that if you are elected member of Parliament, leader of that sort, and you have issues, bring it up. But don't wait and start using this as blackmail to those of us who put ourselves forth for the sanctity of our culture to be preserved.
But Honorable, do you accept the fact that they may have their personal position on this matter? And their personal position may be that we are in for the bill. But they also have a professional position to take and to say that we represent the finance ministry and we have looked at the economic implications of this. And this is our advice. They may not be in favor of this, but professionally, this is exactly what they are doing. And you think you have an issue with that?
That's why you are a member of Parliament. If you have a professional advice, 2 members or for anything at all, you have to say it. Otherwise, then you keep your mouth shut because as a professional, as a quantity surveyor, if there's anything that is being discussed in the House and I have a professional expertise, I bring it to the fore. Elton, you see, if you look at the whole communique that came out, you read it. First of all, we did not pass any bill in Parliament that is called Proper Human Sexual Right and Ghanaian Family Value. We did not pass any bill. There's no bill that will have been passed in Parliament of Ghana on the 28th of February called Proper Human Sexual. The bill that we passed is Human Sexual Right and Family Value Act. That's what we passed. Yeah. And so for them to come out, I see it as deceiving Ghanaians. The 3 of them are deceiving Ghanaians because they were in Parliament when we passed this bill. Why can't they quote, just simply quoting the title, that this is the bill we passed? Today they are telling the whole Ghanaians that we passed a bill that has nothing to do with the bill that was passed. That's the first thing. The second one, if you look at the recommendation given out, that the government should talk to religious leaders, to convince religious leaders.
If the word they use is that religious bodies and faith organizations, conservative forces such as religious bodies and faith-based organizations to communicate the economic implication of the passage of the Anti-LGBTQ Bill and to build a stronger coalition and a framework for supporting key development initiatives that are likely to be affected.
So simply, they are telling us that they should go back president and government should go back and convince people
why they should not support the bill.
Why he will not assent to it. The president has not seen the bill. How will he go and convince people, religious body, people who of like-minded, that this thing he should not assent to it? He hasn't seen it. Until the president has seen it, then we can now say that yes, it has an economic implication on this country. In fact, if you look at it,
but it is in their place to tell us what the implications are, and that's exactly what they've done.
I said they were in Parliament. We passed this bill. Why can't they tell us in Parliament?
During the consideration, nothing of this nature came up.
The only person who came out with an amendment was our brother, the majority leader. He said he's for the bill. The only problem he has is the custodial sentencing. I mean, everywhere he goes, he says he's for the bill. And so if he is for the bill, what about our 3 other colleagues? Are they not bold enough to tell the majority leader, even though these are professional advice, so please, let's introduce this and that in the bill? They have not done that. Then today they are hiding behind the ministry to come out. Now, if you look at their communique, you will realize that they said the African Development Bank does not have problem with the bill. Now, if African Development Bank does not have problem with the bill, that after the passage of the bill, they will not have problem, adverse effect on our relationship with them. Then what are they talking about? This bill is for Ghanaians. And this bill is for people who are holding themselves as, LGBT community people. And so if African Development Bank, that we have interest in, I think we don't have any problem.
An African Development Bank that the IMF and World Bank have interest in.
Has an IMF written to? I need a letter from IMF stating that we have problem with the bill.
As of last week, they said they were monitoring the development.
They said they were monitoring. They've not written to you. So why do you have to jump the gun? What is wrong with these people? What is wrong with the minister? And I think by now they should be resigning.
They should resign.
Yeah, the 3 of them should resign.
For stating a professional position on this matter.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you. You remember the Minister of Finance when he was doing what we call the town hall meeting before the passage of e-levy. He stated it categorically that we are a proud nation. We will not go to IMF. We believe in ourselves and that Ghana should go beyond aid. That's what the Minister of Finance said, the former Minister of Finance said. And today, you are telling me that those that you say you will not go to, you've gone to them, and they are holding your hand, or presumptuously, they are holding your hand, and you are afraid that this is what they will tell me, and therefore, I should not do this. It is crazy. I mean, it is unheard of. That they have not even told you anything already. You have been beaten and you are sleeping on the floor and said, oh, please, I beg you, don't come and hold the hammer on my head.
And you say that they should resign.
By now they should be resigning.
For telling the president the implications that awaits us.
What implication?
Should this become a law?
What implication?
The implication is that we are on the brink of losing 3.8 billion
IMF
US
told
dollars.
That they
the World
not,
Bank.
World Bank has not said they will not give you the money. Have they said it? Is there any letter to that effect? There's no letter. And so what are they talking? Perhaps
they know more than we don't. So let us assume on the premise that they may be operating with something.
I will not agree with you on assumption. We want to see evidence. The letter that came out, the communique that came out, was a communique from the Minister of Finance. If they have anything, they should bring it up. They should tell Ghanaians that this is from IMF, this is from World Bank. And then we can now argue with IMF and World Bank on that score. Because we are talking of partnership. This is not, it is not that, it is a partnership. We have gone in. It is a loan we are taking, just as the
economist said.
Professor Gatti said. He said, we are borrowing and we'll pay back. It is not that you are giving it to us for free. And don't forget that we are also members of IMF as well as World Bank. And so if we, who are partners with you, you want to force your conditionality on us, conditions that were not stated even in the condition before we signed the deal, and you want to bring another condition from outside, then I think we better move out of the international institution like IMF and the World Bank. And I'm happy they said we can go to the Arab world or China. If that's what they are thinking, then why don't they say that let's go there instead of behaving as if we are kids? I mean, what has come at the outcome of Kwame Nkrumah's African personality? And I love what Ken Ofori-Atta said. He said we are proud people. We should be proud that we are Ghanaians.
But Honorable, are you not worried as representative of the people of Whole West that the school that they are expecting, the new market they are expecting, the new road they are expecting, may be affected?
No, nothing.
May be affected. The funding may not come for them to see progress on these things they are expecting as captured in the 2024 budget, because we're taking a decision that has resulted in the blockage of some financing to help with the implementation of 2024 budget.
Have they given any letter that they are going to block your money? They haven't said anything. And so if somebody is blackmailing you or using this to blackmail, and as I agree with Professor Gatti, they are blackmailing us, we should not go to it. Look, John, Elton, there is this thing that I saw on the communique that came out. If you read the motto or the vision of Ministry of Finance, just under there, you see it openly, black and white. It says, Ministry of Finance, professional, ethical, efficient, responsive, transforming Ghana beyond aid. Then we are running back to them and said, oh, we have passed a law by our sovereign parliament of Ghana. But the law that we passed, we are afraid that law will offend you. So we beg you, we want to talk to the president not to sign. And you said we are transformative, we are going Ghana beyond aid. But that's why they need to resign.
But you and I know,
of them must resign.
But you and I know that Ghana beyond aid is, for want of a better word.
Well, you are telling me.
For want of a better word.
I don't know. We are not, our viewers who can.
We are not on our own. Clearly, economically, we are not on our own. We still depend on these people for the kind of progress that we want.
So why would the former minister say that we will not go to IMF? He said we are proud people. We have money. Or do you have? If you don't have, I can play it for you now. He said we have money. We will not go to IMF.
But the reality came to dawn on us, and the reality was that we are not capable of managing our own affairs.
So they should apologize to Ghanaians.
We went to the IMF.
That's not the argument.
That's not the reason why we are here.
Yes, they should apologize to Ghanaians. Colonel Furiata should apologize to Ghanaians. But what I'm saying in a nutshell is that these three people, John Kuma, doctor, Abena Osei, and then Amin Mohammed, doctor, should all bow their head in shame, because when they were negotiating, this bill was in the House since 2001. Why now, after the passage?
But Honorable, if you go to the recommendation, there's a part where they've mentioned that the ministry will continue to engage with the IMF on the alternative, credible sources of funding that will plug the financing gap. So it is not that they've thrown their hands in the air and say that in the absence of all of this, we are doomed. They've given provisions. So, and then one of them I have personal issues with is the fact where they said that GRA to embark on a vigorous revenue mobilization, which I come to the conclusion that this is clearly another attempt to.
It has nothing to do with this law.
But these recommendations and the way forward.
Yeah.
What do you expect the president to do?
Well, I am one of the sponsors, and my expectation is that the president will assent to it. And I believe the president will assent to it. Why? This bill, if you take the survey of Ghanaians, is simply that Ghanaians lauded. They applaud us for passing this bill. And I believe the comments that are coming through your media will attest to the fact that Ghanaians applaud us for passing this bill. This is the only bill that has seen so many reactions, positive and negative reactions. In fact, the negatives are just few. And so the president, if really is a man that we all know, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, that is a man of his own and man of his own word, he should just assent to it to satisfy the majority of Ghanaians. The 90% of Ghanaians who says we don't want this, he should assent to it.
So now you have the bill back on the clerk's table. What is next?
Well, like we all said, when it comes back from the government printer, he has to go through it, word by word, to make sure that all the things that we said and agreed on in the House have been, taken care of. And then he will now put a certificate on it, to prove that it's been passed by the House, and then send it to the president for his assent. Just as your reporter mentioned, he has 7 days to do that. After that, within the 7 days, he can now write to the president, to the Speaker of Parliament, and said, I will assent to it or I will not assent to it.
And now have 14 days to give reasons why.
Why? And then also write to the Council Council of State, members of Council of State, to also give their opinion. And that opinion will be, sent back to us in the House. Now, I can tell you that if it comes back, 2/3 of members of Parliament will pass it.
Afenyomakin, the majority leader last week, he sat where he was sitting on Friday, said that, whilst he was arguing this case on the floor of Parliament, he was getting text messages from members of Parliament, from the NDC, from the MPP, who told him to push the bill through.
You should ask him to prove
secret ballots. Because, for fear of victimization, a lot of MPs stayed out. That is his position on this matter.
You should ask him to show it to you, the text message that I can give you my phone, that people are supporting the bill. If you go to Parliament and conduct interview with members of Parliament privately and see the number of persons. Look, I have met, I'll give you one, I can mention one, the former minister the former minister who was just from Uyosu area.
The former environment minister, Dr. Okwekwefriye.
Dr. Okwekwefriye told me on Friday that, look, Emmanuel, he's so happy that we've passed this bill. He's a medical doctor. And he told me, look, Emmanuel, in America, when this thing started, it was classified as mentally derailed or mentally ill people. And as a medical doctor, he cannot see a human being having sex with an animal. He cannot stand it. Or he cannot see a human being, a man, having sex with another man. He will not. And he said it has a health implication, which also takes us to economic implication, because you see, those that have been known to have HIV/AIDS are largely from their community. So you have health implications, which translate into economic implications, because you need to buy drugs for these people. You need to give them medical attention. So if we have a law that is preventing people from doing this, it's for all of us to applaud it.
I don't know whether you have been following the reaction. I was on the Facebook page of a Ghanaian who worked with the VOA, and he is gay. Yeah. He associates with the gay community.
He cannot come back to Ghana.
Yeah, he says that he can no longer come back to Ghana because he fears for his life. Let's spend a little time on clause 17 and what it says about people in this bracket and the danger they are in with the passage of this bill.
Look, this bill is rather to protect them. I don't know why people do not want to read this bill. Elton, duty clause 17 of Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Act 2024. Duty to report and prohibition of extrajudicial treatment. 17.1. A person who has knowledge that an offense is committed under this act shall report the commission of the act or the offense to a police officer, or in the absence of a police officer, to a relevant authority. And that relevant authority, we in the interpretation, we said a chief, a member of parliament, or assembly member, or the DC. These are the people you have to report to. They are the relevant authority of the community in which the offense is committed. A relevant authority to whom a report is made under subsection 1 shall within 3 days of the report ensure that the report is lodged at the nearest police station. Then 3. You say section 87 to 80, 84 to 87 of the Criminal Offences Act 1960 Act 29 shall apply to a person who commits a misdemeanor if that person verbally or physically abuses, assaults, or harasses a person, A, accuses of an offense under this act, B, suffering from any gender or sexual identity challenged by, including LGBTQI, or any other variant of sexual identity challenge. 4, despite subsection 3, which says that you are not supposed to, if you touch anybody, the Criminal Act, Offences Act will take you on. The use of a graphic description of the behavioral patterns of a person engaged in an activity prohibited under this act for the purposes of education. So this bill will not hold you for the purpose of education or instruction or in response to any form of advocacy or activism does not constitute abuse, assault, or harassment.
So if I'm walking down the street, for example, that I'm a gay, I cannot be attacked for the mere fact that I identify with the gay community.
Who should attack you? The law says you should not be attacked. If you hold yourself, as the clause 2 says, you hold yourself that you are gay, I am supposed to take you to the police station. I'm not supposed to attack you. So this law protects you.
But you obviously, people may go to the extreme.
That's why we made a law, because already people have been going to the extreme. Before even the advent of this law, before the inception of this law, people have been killing people. And we said, no, you cannot kill anybody who holds himself that is a gay or found in the act, but rather report the person to the police. And so we are protecting the minority, the same minority that people are talking about. And so people should read the act.
All right, Honorable Beja, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
And then hopefully, when the clerk is done with doing all the correction, the next stage will be now the president. As of now, like I asked Kweku earlier, the pressure on the president, I can say, is premature because he is not seized with the matter yet. Is that the case? Yeah. All right. So until that is done, we cannot hold him to say that pass it or assent to it or tell us the reason why you cannot do that. We can only wait for the clerk to say that I have dispatched the bill from Parliament House to Jubilee House, and it's just a 3-minute drive. So,
Elton, you and your colleagues here, your producers, have a dinner on me when the president assents to it.
Thank you for that. Thank you so much. The Member of Parliament for Whole West and co-sponsor of the bill, taking us through some of the aspects and reacting to the Ministry of Finance position, the advice that they provided President Akufo-Addo as the president await the formal presentation of the bill to him, and then again MP will also await his signature or not on the bill. This is The Pulse. My name is Elton Bobby. We'll take a short break. We shall be back to talk about the Electoral Commission timetable for election 2024.